Okay, good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday, April the 20th, and today we're going to be working with equivalent fractions. So I'm going to show you a trick for how to figure out equivalent fractions to make it really easy. What you need to remember about your equivalent fractions is whatever you do to the bottom of the fraction, you've got to do the same thing to the top. So for instance, if I have the fraction 4/6, and that's what's represented right here in this illustration. If I multiply the bottom and the top of 4/6 by 2, 4 times 2 is 8, and 6 times 2 is 12. That gives me a fraction of 8/12. And if you take a look at the fraction represented in the picture 8/12, it still is the same amount of space that's shaded. It's just represented by numbers in a different way. So 4/6 is the same thing as 8/12. You're just multiplying in the bottom and the top by the number 2. So you can make any sort of equivalent fraction by multiplying the bottom and the top by the same number. So today on your classwork, what you're going to see is that you have problems like number 1 where you have 1/3 and then it equals, and you only have one of the numbers. What you need to do is figure out what they multiplied 3 by to make the number 6, and that was 2. So whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So when I take 1 times 2, I have 2/6, and so that means that 1/3 is an equivalent fraction to 2/6. That means they're the same. They take up the same amount of space. So then you're going to want to go back to your sheet and you're going to want to write the answer. You shouldn't be showing work on the sheet. You should simply be working it out over on a piece of notebook paper and then recording your answer on the sheet. On the bottom section, what I would do for numbers 13 through 16 is to write down what fraction that you have. So for instance, on number 13, you have 2 out of the 4 symbols shaded. And on the other one, you have 4 out of the 8 symbols shaded. Now you need to go back and figure out if those are equivalent fractions. So I'll show you number 13. And we're trying to decide if 2/4 does in fact equal 4/8. So I'm going to look at the bottom. What did you multiply 4 by to get the number 8? And that would be 2. If I do that same thing to the top, does it balance out? And it does. So that means 2/4 is equivalent to or equal to 4/8. So you can write yes on the box there. Just in case, on the bottom section you have 2 word problems. How many 8s are equal to 2/4? Remember, you're going to have to use your fraction words. So 2/4 would look like this. And now you're going to have to decide how many 8s equals that. So you're solving for your variable here. And on your number 18, how many 9ths are equal to 1/3? Here's your 1/3. You're trying to make it into a 9th. So you're again solving for this variable here. Okay. Make sure you keep this with you when you're finished, because I will send answer keys home to you on Tuesday to be able to check your work from today on equivalent fractions. All right, you all have a great afternoon. Bye.